Hey, it's been a minute. Has this ever happened to you? You ask a friend, partner, colleague if they've watched this video or seen that meme or heard of this song, and they look at you and they say, "No, what the hell are you talking about?" Your first reaction is one of shock and disbelief. How have they not heard of that thing? Everyone online is talking about it. Well, it's probably because you're in an algorithmically induced echo chamber. But it's not your fault, and you're not the only one. Because we are actually all in one. And every day we fall deeper and deeper into these algorithmically reinforced beliefs. And today, I want to see just how long that process actually takes for every popular social media app. Which app traps me in an echo chamber the fastest? What will those echo chambers be? What platform is best at avoiding this pitfall? And will I be sucked into the alt-left pipeline or the notorious alt-right, depending on which app I'm using? Well, I guess there's only one way to find out. So sit back, relax, and let's tumble down this rabbit hole together. First, to make sure that everyone is on the same page, an echo chamber is defined as an environment in which a person encounters only beliefs or opinions that coincide with their own, so that their existing views are reinforced and alternative ideas are not considered. Of course, there are varying degrees as to how much someone can be within an echo chamber, but we're all kind of in one whether we know it or not. It's actually happening right now. As you watch this video, the YouTube algorithm is gathering data on you based on the fact that you clicked on it, and you're hopefully still watching. Are you still watching? So what echo chamber have you currently found yourself in? Well, based on the audience analytics that YouTube gives me, I'm gonna go out on a limb and guess that you have watched at least one of these channels currently on screen. But if you're thinking, Ben, I haven't heard of any of these channels, I don't even know who the hell you are, then congratulations. You're currently outside of your echo chamber and your bubble has been popped. All right, let's go ahead and create a brand new account on our very first social media app, Facebook. Facebook. A place where boomers can reminisce on the past, where your weird second cousin just posted their engagement photo with someone that you've never seen before, and the perfect place to destabilize the Myanmar government through propaganda so you can execute a successful coup. Wait, what? Yes, that actually happened, and Zuckerberg got away with it. Anyway, time to doom scroll. So, Reels, here we go. Okay. This isn't really an opinion, so nothing to engage with here. Now, with most of these short-form algorithms, the platform starts by recommending pretty harmless content. Stuff that is just popular on the platform. You know, videos that really anybody could like. That's crazy. There's nothing I really like or dislike yet.
Can you play Shallow by the
But how will I be influencing the algorithm to lead me into an echo chamber? Well, what I'm going to be doing is engaging with content that I personally agree with when it comes to topics like politics, ethics, religion, social issues, technology, science, you know, stuff that you would bring up on a first date or during lunch with your coworkers. Every other piece of content that isn't very divisive or I just don't really have that much of an opinion on, I will be ignoring and scrolling past. And if it's a video that I definitely don't align with or I don't want to see, I'm going to skip past that as well. Basically, what I want to see is just how fast each social media algorithm will put me into an echo chamber of only takes, opinions, and beliefs that I agree with. Essentially, speed running an algorithm to recreate what my current echo chamber looks like on my personal social media accounts. So what were some of those videos that I decided to engage with? Well, about 4 minutes in, we saw our first example of political content. And it happened to be a video of Ronald Reagan giving a speech. And this was posted by the Ronald Reagan Presidential Foundation and Institute.
Live in France, but you cannot become a Frenchman.
Right. Definitely not going to like the Ronald Reagan quote.
But you can't.
If you needed any proof that this app is only for baby boomers, then there you go. But what would be the first video that I connected with and engaged with?
Person in the world, we're producing millions of them, and that is a lonely, young, broke male named best friend.
Yeah, I mean, I agree about the male loneliness epidemic. I guess I'll like that. Objectively, that is something I agree with. Now, even though I agreed with the sentiment here, I should have known where engaging with this type of content would lead me.
With a guy, a high status male, she can have sex with him, which gives her the impression that's her weight class for a relationship.
Okay, no, this is
longer.
not.
It's uncomfortable to wake up early. Good. Wake up early.
Alpha male grind set mentality, baby.
Words do not solve problems. Bullies are not going to stop unless you punch them in the mouth. Just punch them in the face and move on with your life.
Is it bad that I agree with this? Am I just part of the manosphere and I don't even know it? Are you a young male who is sad and lonely? Well, then wake up early, make your bed, read 5,000 pages of Marcus Aurelius' meditations every day, and then stop being a fucking pussy. I'm just kidding. It's not that bad. I actually kind of relate to some of the male motivational content, probably because I'm a male who sometimes needs motivation. I know it gets a bad rap for a good reason, but a lot of it isn't necessarily bad advice.
You know, people need to have purpose to get up. They need purpose to perform.
It's really just concerning when it turns into blaming all of your problems on women and seed oils or whatever. At least we haven't seen anyone like, oh, I don't know, Jordan Peterson.
There are things that aren't to be talked about in...
Well, then the algorithm started to shift and take shape into something that more closely resembled my comfortable, cozy echo chamber. The David Goggins and Andrew Huberman grindset maxing videos started to turn into more spiritual and mindfulness content. Clips from people like Eckhart Tolle or Thich Nhat Hanh. And I found myself personally connecting more with these videos.
You should be able to listen to your friend with compassion and deeply in order to be really a true friend.
Yeah, I agree with that. But then around reel number 90, the Facebook algorithm wanted to remind me to not get too Buddhified with the Yoo-hoo Eastern teachings and take a minute to pray to our Lord and Savior. Eckhart Tolle, nice. Nope, not doing any of that. At reel 104, the algorithm recommended our first Bernie Sanders video. Okay, all right, we got Bernie Sanders talking about AI. This was the first piece of strictly political content that I related to, and the first time I felt sort of outed by the algorithm. Not only was it recommending a politician who I personally tend to agree with, but it was also around the topic of criticizing billionaires and unregulated AI, which, call me woke, but I think is an important conversation that more politicians should be bringing up. But after about 30 videos of mostly science topics,
heat exists and cold does not exist,
Jane Goodall interviews,
absolutely there are people I don't like, and I would like to put them on one of Musk's spaceships and send them all off to the planet he's sure he's going to discover.
And more Bernie Sanders. More Bernie Sanders? The algorithm threw me a bit of a curveball, almost like it was asking me the question, are you sure you're ready to do this? Let me try one last thing before I send you off into your echo chamber forever.
So important to
Jane
realize.
Goodall, nice.
What do you think the solution is to...
Oh. With the algorithm's final attempt of course correcting, followed by a swift rejection from the click of my mouse, I was now locked in for good. At reel 134, I had the realization that I was in my echo chamber.
Carl Sagan wrote a book in 1995 called The Demon Haunted World, and in it he gives his predictions for the future of America. The dumbing down of America is most evident in the slow decay of substantive content in the enormously influential media, the 30-second sound bites, now down to 10 seconds or less. Lowest common denominator programming, credulous presentations on pseudoscience and superstition, but especially a kind of celebration of ignorance.
God, I love Carl Sagan. Very apropos, Carl Sagan. It's an interesting sensation, that aha moment when I really resonate with a piece of content. It's a super validating feeling, that rush of immediately feeling less alone and like other people out there understand you. It's like this video was made specifically to be shown to me. So was I finally in my echo chamber? I feel like I'm in my echo chamber. Well, I couldn't definitively say that yet, because we needed a way to quantify the act of an echo chamber capturing me across all of the different social media platforms that we will get to momentarily. So how am I going to determine and measure whether I am in an echo chamber or not? One way to really quantify if we are in the echo chamber or not is to get 10 consecutive videos that I personally agree with. 10 consecutive videos that I personally relate to and agree with in a row. That's how we would measure this algorithmic sensation. Now, this may not seem that difficult to achieve just by scrolling and engaging with videos that you like, but as you'll see later in this video, it's actually a bit more complicated than it sounds.
Backlights on. If one's goal
Bernie.
is to provide quality...
Okay, so that's 10 of opinionated pieces of content that I agree with. Well, there we had it. We had successfully fallen into an echo chamber of only videos that reinforced my beliefs. And that took exactly 34 minutes and 11 seconds of scrolling, 144 reels in total, with the average watch time of each video being 14.2 seconds. Now that you get a sense of how this works and how I'll be going about this exercise, we're going to be going through these other apps much quicker. I'm going to somehow edit down several hours of footage to fit into a 40-minute long video. But hey, that's why they pay me the big bucks. Just kidding. I don't have a sponsor for this video. So I want to thank all of my Patreons for their support and for making this video happen. If you'd like to join my Patreon and get access to early ad-free videos, exclusive content, a monthly music playlist curated by yours truly, and much more, consider joining my Patreon for just $2. That support goes a super long way. It makes these videos happen. And also we have a lot of fun over there. Also, if you're enjoying this video so far, subscribing to the channel, liking this video, and also hyping it goes a long way too. So as always, thank you for your support. All right, what app do we have next? Oh, All right, well, if you've watched my videos before, then you'll know I've spent a lot of time with the YouTube Shorts algorithm. And you'll also know that it has a sneaky tendency to push you down the alt-right pipeline fairly quickly.
Did you vote for Camellia in the elections? If you did, you lose 10,000 Riz. But if you voted for Trump, you get plus 1 million Riz.
But I'm hoping today will be different, okay? I mean, I'm going to be actively going against the grain of the alt-right allure, so it shouldn't happen. But there's only one way to find out, so let's get this going. Here we go.
4 faces carved in stone, mustaches proud as man.
If I was looking for 2 words to describe the majority of popular content on YouTube Shorts, those 2 words would be AI and slop. Or AI. What pairs well with the side of AI slop? Well, Christian evangelical slop, of course. God can change your life, Billy Graham. Nope. Well, the rest of the YouTube Shorts run was mostly the same. A lot of AI slop.
For those who see it like this, they might think it's a rock rolling down a mountain.
A lot of Christian content.
And the Bible says, Isaiah the prophet
more Billy
said,
Graham. A lot of right-wing adjacent pundits and podcasters.
This is probably a plot by the Russians and the Chinese and the
Why were dogs banned from Team 6?
Show me something that I like.
I did not want to go through personal condemnation and shaming.
Special forces.
Oh my God, we're at 105. It took a long time to reach my echo chamber.
If we needed any more evidence that nothing that they do is
trying
genuine,
not to
and that
do
this was
Every time I'd have like 3 videos in a row that I related to or agreed with, YouTube would just show me a short of someone like loading a round of grenades into a gun. Which I don't really have strong feelings about. I guess it's kind of cool, but it's just not the kind of content that I watch. It doesn't reinforce a belief that I hold. Explosive rounds just aren't that relatable to me. There. I said it. But after many diversions and failed attempts to tell the algorithm what I actually liked and wanted to see, I finally reached my echo chamber.
We have some major news right now that all but confirmed that what the United States military did was a war crime. CNN is...
I never really had that aha moment like I did with Facebook. I just happened to get 10 videos in a row that I agreed with. So I guess in that case, YouTube did a better job of not trapping me in an echo chamber quickly, but it did feel like it was constantly trying to push me into one that I didn't want to be in. I felt like I was almost fighting the algorithm instead of just mindlessly scrolling and enjoying YouTube Shorts. I didn't really have a good time with this one, so in a weird roundabout way, so far, YouTube has the least addictive algorithm. At least it felt that way for me and the type of content that I like. All right, that was a good run. That took a very long time, I feel like. Maybe it took about the same amount of time as Facebook, but it definitely felt a lot dumber on YouTube, and it felt like it took longer. I'm gonna have to go back and post and see if it actually did. It did. Actually about twice as long, because here are the results. It took exactly 1 hour, 7 minutes, and 12 seconds to reach our echo chamber, and that included 611 shorts, with an average watch time of each video being 6.6 seconds. My attention span dropped a lot with this one.
You want to hear something really fascinating?
Sure. No. Okay, well, that was kind of disappointing, but I guess I can't say I expected that much. So, on to the next. Now, I know that Facebook and Instagram are both owned by Meta.
Check this out. Wow. So that's pretty neat.
So I would assume that the algorithms for both apps would be pretty similar, if not the same. But on the other hand, they are 2 separate bespoke platforms, so these runs could be totally different. So I was curious to test this out. Well, it turns out they're pretty different, because Instagram got much more political much faster compared to Facebook.
Concerned with saving yourself from criticism?
Miss Rachel, hell yeah, let's go. And it seemed to sort of guess my political leaning after only engaging with one video about Finland making college tuition free. Yeah, good job, Finland. I know, outed again for being woke. But just after that video, I fell into my echo chamber fairly quickly.
That's our first
9 in a row. 10 in a row. All right, we're in the echo chamber. So this was the shortest run yet, with our total time being 17 minutes and 33 seconds, watching a total of 161 reels, and the average watch time of each video being 6.5 seconds. And here's where Instagram falls in our ranking so far. All right, 2 more apps to go. Which one are we going to explore next? All right, TikTok, the alleged Chinese spy app. What corner of the internet will this propagandist commie algorithm push us into? We're going to see how long it takes to get into my echo chamber. All right, first one, we got Jesus. Well, that doesn't feel very Chinese to me. Now, minus the AI slop that was found in abundance on this app.
Say 6'7" one more time. We are going to call your mom in about 6
got some
7
AI
minutes.
baby.
Let her know
The algorithm was kind of similar to Instagram Reels, where it guessed my political leaning pretty early and really wanted to make sure I was watching political content that reinforced my already held beliefs, of course.
First of all, that kind of cruel, heartless act has no place in Operation Kill Everybody.
California state lawmaker is calling for a public review of the massive data center project that's been proposed in the Imperial Valley. Many residents have felt...
But something really weird kept happening. The TikTok algorithm kept pushing one account to me over and over again. Okay, this is from the White House. Yeah, I'm not engaging with that. Out of the blue, too. It was showing me a bunch of Aaron Parnas, MS Now, and other more moderate and left-leaning accounts. And then the White House.
He is spending all his time.
Hey, again, this is from the White House. Chuck Schumer living in the world of make-believe. This account is getting pushed so heavily on the TikTok algorithm. I just kept getting this TikTok page. Every time I was about to reach 10 videos in a row that I related to, it would just shove itself back into my timeline.
The entire government will be shut down until further notice.
This is from the White House, again. So even when we think we're like in our echo chamber, we keep getting these White House TikToks. I know this is just from my experience, but it felt so unnatural. So I thought it was worth mentioning.
And you wrote on it to President Donald J.
Back to the White House.
Playing
More propaganda. But eventually, after ignoring the account enough, I got my 10 in a row and I was back in my echo chamber.
The president who was killing people in boats in the Caribbean and bombing Iran, unleashing troops.
Okay, so that's 10 in a row. And here are the results for TikTok. The total time was 29 minutes and 4 seconds. I watched a total of 411 TikToks, and that gave us an average watch time of 4.2 seconds per TikTok. So TikTok, you're gonna go right here. All right, one more app to go. Which one do we have?
Comedy sucks.
Oh. So obviously this one is a bit different because we're not going to be watching short form videos, but instead reading posts on a timeline. We'll do technology, business and finance. These are things that I'm actually interested in. I wanted to make sure that my profile was set up to be unbiased before I started scrolling, but I had to select some accounts to follow, so I decided to just follow the top 20 news and politics accounts Twitter recommended for me. But with that out of the way, it was time to scroll. Okay, got some stuff about cryptocurrency. That's an ad, okay. Okay, Elon Musk shows up pretty fast. Well, that's to be expected. It is his app after all. The term far-right has been so broadly applied that it encompasses normal people now, one of the most inclusive labels of all time. I don't know about that. All right, we got a Grok ad. The algorithm continued to recommend me news updates from various outlets. I didn't engage with those because all of the headlines were pretty unbiased for the most part. Do you want to follow Wall Street Mav, Matt Walsh, or Libs of TikTok? None. But with the news also came a lot of right-wing figures, like Melania Trump. Oh, Melania. Thank you, Alexandra Gucci, for creating the beautifully important Unity handbag. And oh, look, it's the White House. Oh, look, it's the White House. And of course, Ben Shapiro. And then Ben Shapiro. Shaboo-boo. But then after doing a lot of scrolling, I finally found a tweet that I agreed with. My first like so far on my timeline. The economy is so bad, they have resorted to just outright refusing to publish anything about it. Yeah. But then what happened next was almost instantaneous. I'm telling you that in a matter of seconds, my entire algorithm shifted and put me into the most echo chamber I had been in yet. Yes, I agree. Yeah, agree. More perfect union. God, that changed so quickly. Okay, I think I think I'm done. Yeah. Is that 10 in a row? And the total time it took for Twitter to put me into my echo chamber was 13 minutes and 33 seconds, reading a total of 375 posts. And the average time it took me to read a post was 2.2 seconds. And now that I'm standing here saying these numbers out loud, I kind of realized something. The fact that I'm able to read a post in 2.2 seconds and immediately decide whether I agree with it or disagree with it isn't great. I shouldn't be able to react to news that quickly and feel so biased so fast. Like, what does that say about me or the things that I'm reading online? It made me feel so tribalistic in my beliefs and opinions. Oh, I like that, but oh, I don't like that. That makes me not feel good. Like, that's just not great. This app makes me feel so dumb. Also, I shouldn't be able to disseminate 375 takes of information in just over 13 minutes. I'm not an evolutionary scientist or anything, but I don't think our brains are programmed to do stuff like that all of the time. I couldn't even tell you anything that I just read. It's all gone. It's all gone now. And the troubling part is that was opinions and takes that I agree with, that reinforce my beliefs. Even though I related to a lot of it, I don't even really remember what it was that I related to. I just know that I killed 13 minutes of my day and now I'm a little more upset and anxious than I was before. So if that's how I felt with the opinions and beliefs that I agree with, what would it look like if I found myself in echo chambers that I don't want to be in, with content that I don't like or relate to at all? We now know how long it took each app to trap me into my personal echo chambers that reinforce my strongly held beliefs. But how long would each app take to put me into my opposing echo chambers? What if I only engaged with content that I didn't want to watch? Well, if you check to see how much time is left in this video, then you already know, but this isn't over yet. I still have questions. How long will it take for each app to lead me into my opposing echo chambers? Are these platforms' algorithms programmed to push users into a specific silo or echo chamber quicker than others? Well, I'll be comparing all of the results that we have to find out. But first, we gotta go back to where this all started. So how long will it take for me to get 10 consecutive videos that I don't relate to or ideologically don't agree with in a row? Oh, Newsmax. I don't like that. Hell yeah. Okay, that took one. That no one's talking about. Not off to a great start.
Michigan. One of the most shocking experiences we had in Dearborn came from a tip that we received about a safe house in the area.
Okay, this could go either way.
Something jihadi related, you think?
Whoa. Dearborn. Something jihadi related? And now I'm in the echo chamber. That was 10 in a row. So here we are. Wow. I don't know what to tell you, except that took 8 minutes and 15 seconds. I watched a total of 22 reels, and the average watch time was 22.5 seconds, meaning that I watched each video on average longer than my first run on Facebook. I guess you could sort of call it like a type of hate watch situation. A morbid curiosity almost, like not being able to look away from a car wreck on the side of the highway. I guess I was just more into the stuff I don't like. All right, last time we did YouTube Shorts, it took over an hour and it kept trying to show me content I didn't want to watch. So I'm guessing this one will be at least faster than an hour. So let's see what our first YouTube Short will be. Are we ready? I always get a little nervous.
Voting for Kamala? I am. What is her... Free speech? Free speech? Yeah, they have the freedom of speech.
After the Kirk video, we got, you guessed it, more Charlie Kirk videos.
Do you know what carbon dioxide is?
Yes. You want to see it?
More Christian content, including AI Jesus.
Hey, God. I'm in a lot of pain right now, and I'm super confused with what you're doing with my life.
Shout out to all of my AI Jesus fans out there who watch this channel. I know there's a lot of you, so sound off in the comments. And then all that followed by more Charlie Kirk.
Before I go on a college campus, my prayer is very simple. God, use me for your will. Amen. Because there's a plan above us all. God is sovereign above all.
Oh, and more AI Jesus.
If you ignore this video, you receive bad luck.
Pay attention to what I'm about to say.
This run took about half the time as our first one on YouTube, but it still took longer than Facebook, landing it right here with 33 minutes and 47 seconds. I watched a total of 227 shorts, with the average video watch time being 8.9 seconds. All right, so far this is not taking very long. What do we have next? So this one was a bit different than the other runs, even including our first phase of only engaging with videos that I relate to, because I never saw anything directly politics related, which was honestly kind of refreshing. I also never saw any AI or AI Jesus, but I did see a lot of one thing, and it didn't take too long to fall into this specific echo chamber. All that I got was Christian worship content.
Bro, God is so good. What the heck? Don't play with me right now.
I feel kind of bad about this one. But it wasn't your average short form Christian content that is usually just AI or poorly edited Bible verses. This one was a bit more wholesome. At least this isn't like the slop
believe when God builds a
Jesus
man,
stuff. Now, did I relate to it? No, not really. But at least this didn't feel as harmful, brain rotty, or conspiratorial as most of the Christian content I see online.
Beloved ones, listen. Jesus said,
but boy, did I fall down this echo chamber. Hard. And I was stuck. There was no getting out of this one. 9. Alright. Well, definitely an echo chamber. So how long did it take to get to this one? Well, not too long, with our result being a total time of 15 minutes and 35 seconds, watching 299 reels, and the average video watch time was 3.1 seconds. Okay, TikTok, here we go. The first 4 minutes or so were pretty normal. Pretty basic so far. But around 5 minutes in, this came out of nowhere and just hit me like a train.
I want money. You're trans? Yeah. Okay, well, what makes you trans?
These people can vote?
You know what? Don't feel a certain gender identity.
And naturally, that led to Charlie Kirk.
Black people can come up and say that there's a baby
Charlie
mama
Kirk,
problem in
best
Black America,
moments,
and white
great.
people are not allowed to say that. Oh, I just did. So what are you gonna do? Cancel me?
A lot of Charlie Kirk.
I think it's just common sense.
No, I think you guys must have like a group chat of all the guys that don't have girlfriends.
Well, I think that it should.
I am actually so interested to know if he was this prevalent on short form apps prior to his death. Like, I know I used to see a lot of Charlie Kirk before he died, but I feel like it's gotta be on a whole nother level now in the AK era. AK meaning after Kirk.
Call it crap.
You're in favor of the death penalty?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, thanks to Charlie, we hit our 10 in a row, and that took 14 minutes and 16 seconds, watching a total of 86 TikToks, with the average watch time length being 10 seconds. All right, time for our final app, and probably, if I had to guess, the shortest.
Legalized comedy.
Surely this is not going to take that long. Timer starts now. All right, we're getting some sports updates. The man stabbed in the chest by an illegal alien on the train. All right, perfect. The White House, MAGA voice. Hi. Breaking. Italian PM Giorgio Meloni says Elon Musk is not a danger to democracy. George Soros is. Of course he is. Right scope. Caroline Levitt. Okay, that's got to be 10. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 15, 16, 20, 26, 27, 28, 39, 40. Yeah, we're not getting out of this. Once you're in, you are locked in for good. It is very hard to leave the echo chambers on Twitter. Well, I was right, because that only took 6 minutes and 38 seconds. I read a total of 101 posts, and the average time it took me to read a post was 3.9 seconds. It's Twitter. What do you expect? So before I share the final results and compare the apps and the time that it took to echo chamber me on both sides, I have some thoughts I wanted to share while going through all of the footage and editing this video. Watching myself click little buttons to tell lines of code that I didn't like this and hey, I actually like that, it all just started to feel so unimportant and frankly, really dumb. I felt like a rat in a lab just clicking a button to get more cheese. Tiny gestures of my thumb quietly pile up into a data set, which is then fed into an even larger one, and then it's digested by big tech company. Those data points are not only used to show me ads for products, but also to serve up just enough perfectly tailored content to keep me there as long as possible, so I can keep nudging my little thumb, and they can keep showing me an ad for a pair of socks where I can customize them and put my cat's face on it. That's so cool. And at the end of the day, this is why addictive algorithms and consequently echo chambers exist. Our own ideas and beliefs aren't reinforced by the algorithm because our opinions are right or wrong. They're only reinforced for one reason: to buy our attention so insert tech company can show you more ads. And yeah, no shit, like we all know this. I'm not saying anything profound here, but I think they're taking away something bigger than just our attention. They're also taking away our individuality. Anyone can now be accepted because they can find common people and beliefs online, which I think is a huge positive that came out of the invention of the internet and social media. But the downside to that is that it's become harder for us to form our own thoughts and opinions now, because the algorithm and our echo chambers can provide that for us. Don't make your opinion public yet because it hasn't been validated or reinforced by someone else in your online space. The giant tech companies seem to be snuffing our individuality. We hardly own anything anymore, and now we can't even own our own thoughts and ideas. You have to open up one of their apps to get that too. But all of this responsibility shouldn't just be on us. There does need to be some type of regulation when it comes to social media. Social media is great because it gives us, for the most part, access to say what we want without fear of censorship. We live in a time where mainstream media isn't our only source for news and trends. I think that's fantastic. But there are very powerful people who want to take that away from all of us. And I don't think the answer is ever to censor and or ban social media. Online content is here to stay. You can't take that away from us. But I do think there needs to be a bigger conversation around regulating and changing the algorithms and taking away the current incentive from the tech companies that control them. The goal shouldn't be to keep us scrolling. It should be to keep us informed and to be introduced to new ideas, new people, new thoughts, new culture. And I think that was the initial purpose of social media and the internet as a whole. And we can't forget that. Look, I don't know what good regulation looks like for algorithms, but I do remember a time when social media apps didn't have an algorithm. You followed and engaged with content from accounts that you specifically chose to see. Obviously, there still needs to be some type of discovery and curation process, so everyone has the opportunity to be introduced to new ideas and people and thoughts. But I think there's a way to do that that doesn't involve endless scrolling and an algorithm that just has one job: to keep you on the app. In terms of influence and reach, social media algorithms might be the most powerful tool ever created. And I think it's insane that we trust a handful of companies to self-regulate this power. We cannot trust big tech to be the responsible ones here, not when they're being monetarily rewarded by profiting off of our attention. But hopefully this can contribute to a broader conversation around some type of social media regulation. But with that little spiel out of the way, let's go through our final results. Okay, for our final results, we are starting with the first phase of things that I agreed with. This is the blue-pilled algorithm. Going shortest to longest, we have number 1, Twitter, 13 minutes and 33 seconds. Second, we have Instagram with 17 minutes and 33 seconds. Third, we have TikTok with 29 minutes and 4 seconds. Fourth, we have Facebook with 34 minutes and 11 seconds. And then fifth, we have YouTube Shorts with 1 hour, 7 minutes, and 12 seconds. So the average time it took me across all of these social media platforms to reach my echo chamber was 32 minutes and 19 seconds. All right, now time for the results of phase 2, the things that I disagreed with, the red-pilled algorithm. Okay, shortest to longest again, we have number 1, Twitter with 6 minutes and 38 seconds. In second place, we have Facebook with 8 minutes and 15 seconds. Third place, we have TikTok with 14 minutes and 16 seconds. Instagram coming in next with 15 minutes and 35 seconds. And then YouTube again in fifth place with 33 minutes and 47 seconds. The average time across all of these social media apps to reach my anti-echo chamber was 15 minutes and 42 seconds. So it takes almost exactly half the amount of time for me to be put into a red pill echo chamber compared to my blue pilled one. So yeah, if you're looking for a straightforward answer, the alt-right pipeline is quicker than the not alt-right pipeline. There you go.